All right, welcome back to the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast for Friday, May 22nd. What a great show we have for you. I am Chris Hodge, bandwagon jumper, JR, decked out in the Knicks stuff.
Come on, baby.
Oh, my.
Listen, I'm the first to admit it. You know, I have dogged out the NBA all year on this podcast, on the radio show. I'm like, it sucks. The product is terrible. And then the Knicks make a run. I'm like, oh, playoff basketball's fun, baby. It's back. It really is. It's
I'm not
exciting.
saying anything.
I'm
not saying anything. If the Knicks are up 2-0, I've seen them up 2-0 in the conference finals before, albeit that was against Michael Jordan. But
this is a different animal. Watching them against the Cavaliers, it's like Cavs, they're having such a hard time. I mean, we were just talking about before we came on. I'm like, it's almost sad watching James Harden just get chopped up like a salad.
I don't think it's sad. No, I don't. Not even from a fan. And before I get to that, keep it here because we have Dwight Gooden, MLB legend, New York Met legend. Dwight Gooden will be on later in the show, and I'm really excited about that interview. Back to James Harden. When the hell has James Harden ever played defense?
Never.
Right.
Ever.
So,
and they are taking advantage. I mean, literally, just as soon as they see him over there, pick, roll, put him on, but bing, bang, boom, points.
I don't know why that hasn't been done in all of James Harden's career.
How are they not making any, like you even said, when they were up 18-22 in game one, whatever it was, how do you not pull him? Right. I know he got you there, but how do you not pull him and bring in another defender? Like, he's being schooled. It is obvious what's going on. They are literally just zoning in individually on him, and they keep him in the game. So what are you doing? He plays zero defense.
Here's my problem with the NBA, and I've been on record saying this a lot, right? You have superstar players. Luka Doncic is a superstar player.
Love him.
Austin Reeves is not a superstar, but Austin Reeves is a very good player, right? You had a guy like James Harden. These guys have been hunted in the playoffs. When Dallas played Boston in the NBA Finals, they went after Luka Doncic because Luka Doncic cannot play defense. And the Lakers and all their brilliance, now I know that Doncic got hurt and didn't play. It wasn't going to make a difference. Laker fans, it wasn't going to make a difference. They weren't beating. They were not beating OKC. The game that everyone got hurt in for the Lakers, they were down by 40 against OKC. They weren't beating them. Maybe they don't get swept.
I don't think they beat them, but I don't think they get swept.
Oh, they lose in 5. Gentlemen sweep.
6.
But you're a superstar offensive player, okay? And you can't play a lick of defense. OKC hunted Reeves. Boston hunted Doncic when they were in the NBA Finals. Now the Knicks are hunting Harden. I don't believe you could be an NBA superstar. I don't give a fuck how many points you score if you can't play a lick of defense.
Not any. I mean any. It is so
terrible.
It's literally, he's just on the heels the entire time. Has no idea what to do. He knows how to switch off. He's really good at switching on. And then he gets eaten alive. I mean, it's sad to watch, man.
He's a really, really bad defensive player.
Offensive player.
One of the best of all time.
One of the best of all time. But, man, and like we said, I don't understand. Like the coach interviewed afterwards, and they asked him, why is he still out there? Well, he helped get us here. That's not good coaching.
Agreed.
If you see he's getting chomped up.
Agreed.
I mean, especially when they were up 16, 18. You know what? Have a seat, man. We need you for the next game. We're going to put somebody else out there.
They went after him last night, too. But in game
they sure did.
One of the most amazing stats that you'll ever see in a basketball game. In game 1 in the fourth quarter, the Knicks isolated James Harden on 9 different defensive possessions.
Yep.
They scored 17 points on those 9 possessions. That means they scored every time they had the ball, basically.
Basically, they needed every one of those points to get back in that game and force overtime, too. They were down 22 with 7.5 minutes.
Last night, the Cavs are in the game, a couple minutes into the third quarter there, and then the Knicks go on an 18-0 run. Cleveland came back, made it close, got to like within 7 or 8, and then the Knicks pull away again. But it's when you got a guy that can't play defense, like James Harden cannot play defense.
That's why I don't think they have a shot at being able to beat the Knicks in this series. I know you said you're not going to say anything, but I don't think they have a shot.
So, and the late, great Kobe Bryant said this years ago when he did an interview with Tracy McGrady, and he said, well, this is when James Harden was with the Rockets.
Okay.
And he said the way that James Harden is playing right now, like he has to do it to keep his team in games during the regular season, but the way he's playing right now will not translate to the playoffs. And James Harden has never translated to the playoffs.
Never.
Here's a guy that has played some of the most epically bad Game 7s in history.
History.
Like, epically bad.
That bad.
He's bad. Before we get to the Western Conference, got to say this, and be sure to keep it right here because we do have Dwight Gooden coming on. That interview will be sponsored by GirlsThatGamble.Live, and it's going to be a great interview. Some tragedy hit yesterday, last night. Kyle Busch, NASCAR legend, dies at 41 years old, and first of all, that's just whenever anyone dies, it's terrible. Whenever anyone dies that young, it's terrible.
41, man.
But the reports of it was from a sinus infection that kind of just basically exploded when he was doing a trial run. He was practicing a couple days ago, and he just like the sinus just seemed like it exploded. And
because I didn't see what the cause of death was. I thought it was
something to do with
somebody
sinus.
told me it was an aneurysm.
No, it was something to do with his sinus and man,
like 41.
to NASCAR, obviously Kyle Busch's family, his wife and his children, man. Oh, terrible. What a legend. Gone way too soon. And
so good at what he does too. I mean, I'm not a NASCAR guy, but there are certain guys that that are just superstars.
So reading up on him, his brother's Kurt Busch, and that's his older brother. And maybe about 20 years ago, Kurt Busch does an interview, and he says, "You think I'm good? Wait till you see my younger brother. Like, this guy is just all world." So that is a terrible sports life tragedy. NASCAR, man, that's
it doesn't
terrible.
even happen in the car. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, it was just terrible.
I have a sinus infection. I get a sinus infection every year.
Those things could be dangerous. Those things could be really dangerous. And my wife texts me because you know how women are. My wife just texts me. She's like, "Man, this is just another thing to be neurotic about." Is your wife as neurotic as my wife?
We can't talk shit. My wife is gonna. She's right outside the studio.
She's listening to this.
Yeah, we're not talking about.
We're not
wife related.
You baby. My wife is complete neurotic.
My wife is the greatest woman that God.
No, listen. We talk very highly of our wives. We always have, right?
Always, yes.
My wife is a neurotic. This woman worries about everything.
My wife doesn't worry about everything, but she's neurotic she has to be doing something all day long. It's nonstop. She's like a fucking pinball, dude. Like you hit it and it just ding, 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 ding. And if God forbid you sit down because she's not, God, I hope she don't watch this episode.
Listen, my wife, I mean, look, I have 3 boys. My boys' age is 26, 22, 19, so they're just going out. I know you have 6 kids. They're just, my boys are going out, whatever.
You got 6.
There's no curfew to this. I don't care what time you come. My wife, man, if these kids are out at night, she doesn't go to sleep. She waits for them to come home. Now, the fuck of it is a couple of them might not come home. See, so now what are you doing?
It's the opposite in my house. My wife is like, yeah, they're fine. Yeah, and me, I'm like, I just want to know if they're coming home. So I'll give them a shout. Hey, yo.
I go to sleep.
You come, or even a text. Are you coming home tonight? I got one son that doesn't say shit, right? Like, you've met him. Really don't say much.
I don't say anything.
And he'll go, he's got his girlfriend in Pennsylvania. He lives in New York. His girlfriend's in Pennsylvania. Been together 2 years. Beautiful girl. I'm very happy for him. But he just ups and goes. He doesn't tell me, hey, Dad, going to PA, see you in a couple days. It's just,
that's it, man.
Where'd he go?
That's it.
Where'd he go? Just gone. Call him, hey, I'm in Pennsylvania.
Well, now listen, you got all these apps on these phones that tell you exactly where they are.
I don't do that today.
Easy Pass.
The 14-year-old I do it with because he's a fucking psycho, but the rest of them, I've never done that.
I remember one night I'm getting dinged on my phone from the Easy Pass, and I'm like, I guess he's on his way to Philadelphia. It's just look, Gothel's Bridge, New Jersey Turnpike. I guess you go down there. If you stay on 95, you go further down.
Where you really going?
Just crazy.
How come my son is in Atlantic City? What the hell's going on?
Interesting story about tonight. Obviously, Game 3, which I believe is still this series in the Western Conference. Spurs and OKC tied at 1. I think it's going to be a phenomenal long series.
Do you really?
I do. I think the Spurs. First of all,
you're buying into the hype of all the press and the Game 1 and Wemby and.
No, well, Spurs got some injuries, but I've done nothing but piss off New York fans. I mean, with the Jets and Giants, my take was completely true. I'm getting some violent emails because I said the Knicks had zero shot.
Zero chance.
Zero chance. So the emails have been rather violent.
You didn't even think they would get through round 1.
No, and I certainly did not think they'd get through Boston in round 2. They did not have to see Boston. They get Philly, but hey, they swept Boston. But oh boy, I'm getting some violent stuff. But that's fine. It's all fun.
I wanted to see it happen because I knew that you were totally like
cooked.
Yeah.
But like when you're right,
it's the best Knicks team I've seen since the '90s by far. In fact,
I think it might be better. I think it might even be better.
And it's only because they have the depth. They have a bench like no one else. And I mean, seriously,
they're playing well. And listen,
great.
Hey, Jalen Brunson, if he goes and wins a championship,
bro, he scored what 4 points in the first half yesterday.
He was doling out assists like crazy.
He was nothing but 13 assists.
Yeah, I mean,
and then all of a sudden they need him to bring it on, and put that switch on and get rolling, man.
Josh Hart shot the shit out of the ball last night.
I don't even know if he missed a shot.
But we go with the West in terms of that. It is the first time tonight that OKC is an underdog in the playoffs.
It's unbelievable.
For the last 33 playoff games.
That's got to be the hype of the media. I just don't see it on paper. I understand they just played, and I mean, look, for me, OKC was a lay down easy win on the road. At home in game 2. It's like coming off of the loss. There's no way they're going to drop 2 at home. So being an underdog on the road is probably the right move to get 50-50 action, but it's not the right move for these teams on paper. Sorry, absolutely not. OKC's the better team.
San Antonio has some injuries right now.
There are some bad mismatches on the floor, but other than that, OKC's got more depth, better coaching, better just almost everything.
Yeah, but San Antonio has an alien.
They do.
They have an alien. Hey, yo, like this guy, again, I hate that. Oh, man, I hate
the fact he hit that 30-footer in game 1 is what really set it off.
I hate to keep going back to this guy, but I have to. This guy, LeBron James, and I say God. This guy, man.
We gotta always talk about.
I know, right? You're right. Why do we always? But it's all, and he's he does a great job at because listen, his basketball game is brilliant.
Right. I can't stand everything else about him.
I mean, the guy goes on his podcast with Steve Nash and was like, San Antonio keeps getting lucky whenever they have the number 1 pick. They get these generational. I mean, first of all, what was Cleveland? Was Cleveland not lucky? You were a generational talent. I mean, you were one of these guys.
Me?
Right? And then Cleveland got Kyrie Irving. Now you went and fucked it up. But you got generational talents. Generally in basketball, right? When those talents are out there, San Antonio had 3 number 1s. They had David Robinson, right? They got Tim Duncan. And now they got Wembanyama, right? But it takes more, as LeBron James knows, it takes more than one generational talent to win.
It does.
So there's no luck. They did a good job of building their team. So the ping pong balls, it happened to you. In 2003 or whatever you were drafted, it wasn't luck?
Come on.
I don't know. The guy just drives me crazy.
I can't stand him. I really can't stand him. It sucks, too, because he's such a great player.
Awesome player.
I would like to like him. I actually, early on, very, very early on in his career, before we started fucking talking, I bought one of the USA jerseys with his name on it. And
so let me ask you a question.
Now I know ketchup on it.
I might be asking the wrong person. It's no insult to you. You're not a basketball guy, even though you're decked out. And so I would put the question to the internet as well, like to everyone out there that listens to this podcast and either likes it or doesn't like it, which is fine. That's fair. Do you believe LeBron James has 4 titles? He had 1 with Cleveland, right? If he had just stayed in Cleveland for the duration of his career, like Kobe did with the Lakers. Now, Kobe won 5. Do you think LeBron James would have at least 4 titles with Cleveland? If he just stayed the whole duration of his career with Cleveland.
And was willing to work the numbers so that the team can put some talent around him?
Which he did in Miami. Like, he did do that. Yeah. So, like, he's a lifer.
I believe he has at least 4.
I agree with you.
At least 4.
Because the East has always been weak. He would have ruled the Eastern Conference.
And people would have
forever.
been begging to come play with him.
Yep.
Right? So he wouldn't have to go move around and have so many moving parts, 3-way trades just to get what he... No, if they would have come. Build it and they will come, right?
That's the part of that that is missed, right? LeBron is an all-time legend. To me, he's number 3 all-time. Again, we'll get argument over that.
I heard John Sally in a podcast yesterday. I don't know when he actually did the podcast, but he's like, everybody just assumes Michael Jordan's number 1.
Yes.
He's like, but ask Michael Jordan who number 1 is. He'll tell you Dr. J.
Yeah. It is a great point.
He's like, and I played with Michael. He's like, yeah, Michael was great. He's unbelievable. Greatest player I ever played with, but not the greatest of all time. I wanted to grab him through the podcast and choke him out. He's like, but he did make a good point, right? I mean, it's for their time, right? For their time. So even for me, LeBron played during the same time that Kobe Bryant played.
And Steph Curry.
Right. Kobe Bryant was the better player. If
I
I was making a team,
yes.
I would have taken Kobe Bryant
Agreed.
over LeBron James.
Agreed.
So
100 out of 100, by the way.
And they played at the same time, so I'm not even going to say he's the best of his time.
Kobe in his prime, here, let's just blow it up now. Kobe in his prime was better than LeBron in his prime. That's just how I feel. Now, LeBron has the longevity.
No doubt.
Right? He has
Yes.
the longevity. He's gonna,
Therefore, he'll have the numbers,
Yes.
right? So,
but player for player, and again, you just go look up the tape and not like this is bullshit. When they played in the All-Star game, LeBron wanted nothing to do with Kobe Bryant.
nothing.
Zero. He wanted nothing to do with Black Mamba.
How are you going to do? You're going to make yourself look like complete garbage. If you get on him and you can't guard him, you're going to get talked shit about for the rest of your career.
Mamba
So
was a bad man.
He was
a bad
and he played
man.
defense.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
He
wanted
played-
to. He
and
wanted to
he
shut down
sure
the other
did.
team's best defensive
Loved it.
player. I feel like this is what a point I was getting to about 5 minutes ago with OKC and the Spurs. I feel like you see we live in this kumbaya type of world right now. We're like, just you gotta
mean
be
the
nice.
pussified
and
version of everything. Yeah,
I feel like these two teams genuinely do not like each other. No. Okay. And they're going to be around in the Western Conference playing each other in the playoffs. Now, I don't know if they'll be the Western Conference Finals because you don't know from year to year what the brackets look like, right? But these two teams are going to be around playing each other in the playoffs, much like the Lakers and the Spurs were.
Yep.
Way back in the day, or late '99 or early 2000s, on into the 2000s. I feel like these two teams are going to be around in the Western Conference to play each other, and they do not like each other, and I think that's good for basketball.
Yeah, that's going to be just like back in football when you had either the Colts, the Patriots, or the Steelers, and basically every AFC championship game for 15 years they were going against each other. So, same thing here. I think you're going to have San Antonio. You're going to have OKC in the West constantly. I mean, look, Golden State was taking over for how many years when they had Steph Curry, right? So here's the thing about
Golden State played Cleveland in the finals seemingly every year, right?
Yep.
But there wasn't there was this dislike. It was like they're all boys, like Draymond and LeBron, hitting each other.
I know what you're saying. No, this is
becoming
becoming a real rivalry. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like you guys don't understand. Like when there's hatred, the fans like that more. Like
they love it
in the NHL. There's been hatred.
Or how about the Knicks and the Pacers?
Hatred. Knicks and the Heat. Hatred.
I would even say only because the Pacers go all the way back to Reggie Miller, and then.
There was hatred.
Let's not forget, Halliburton with the choke.
And then to do what Reggie Miller did back in 1994,
Correct.
whenever that was, 95. But, you had a brawl, Knicks Heat, where Van Gundy was clinging for his life.
That was great.
But there was hatred.
There was.
And when there was hatred, it was good for the fans.
It better.
And good for
Yes,
the sport.
I agree. It definitely is a better game.
Go back years and years ago, Detroit and Chicago. Hatred. They hated each other.
But everybody hated Detroit.
But Jordan says it, he said it in The Last Dance, which came out, 5 years ago. He said that hatred continues to this day. So they took the hatred from 88, 87, 89,
they
whatever.
still don't like each other?
He goes, the hatred continues to this day.
Come on.
And that's what made it great.
So you don't think Michael and Isaiah can sit down and have a meal together?
I would love to ask them both if they have. I do not believe that Michael Jordan would ever go out to eat dinner with Isaiah Thomas.
Ever. That would be unbelievable.
I could be wrong. I've never talked to either guy personally.
One of the things I actually called you about, I was like, I couldn't believe the weight difference, right? Like I said, do you know how much, everyone knows Wembanyama, 7'4", 236 pounds. Guy weighs about 4 pounds less than I do. All right. And I'm 6'2", and he's 7'4", right? So stick, right? We know stick. Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
At 25 years old, 7'1", 325 pounds.
A monster.
10 years later, when he was playing for the Lakers in his mid-30s, how much did he weigh?
I don't believe that number. I don't believe he ever got near 400.
Now again, I looked it up.
I don't believe that
and
number.
I could not get anything other than what Shaquille O'Neal himself said was that he was playing at 420 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, if he said I've never heard that before.
That's insane, man.
Shaquille O'Neal
that is insane.
To me, again, and this is no disrespect.
The most dominant center to ever play the game, in my opinion.
And now
that's
I
me.
started watching basketball in 85, 86. So any center I've seen, Shaq,
Sure.
Hakeem,
Olajuwon,
Ewing, Mourning. There were some good ones. Dwight Howard, obviously David Robinson. So those are the guys that I saw. I never saw Bill Russell play, Will, Kareem.
Right.
I never really saw them play in their prime. Shaq is.
You're telling me if you put Shaquille O'Neal on Wilt Chamberlain,
it'd be a problem.
Wilt is going to be okay. He's going to score some points, but he's not going to get inside. He's not going to. He's not going to be able to hammer away inside. He's going to have to shoot.
Shaq was just the most.
Shaq is just going to dominate. He's going to jump. That's an animal of a body. How are you getting him out of the way?
The most dominant guy.
It's unbelievable
that you've ever seen. It's just there is no more dominant.
I think he underperformed in his career. He could have done more. He did great. He was amazing. But it's like the foot problems, I think, really.
Well, the guy is a dinosaur, like in terms of his weight. Like,
a brontosaurus.
Right. Like, no, I am going to push back on that. That man did not underperform. I mean, that man.
Because he could have been better. I mean, he was that good.
Kobe says that if he would have come into camp in shape. Like Shaq admittedly says he used the NBA training camp to get into shape and the NBA season to get into shape. But Shaq could do that. Shaq, listen. You threw the ball into the paint, you got 2 points.
You got the point every time.
God forbid he hits free throws.
Just don't let him go to the free throw line.
Well, listen, it's like Mitchell Robinson right now. Watching this guy.
It's unbelievable.
Shoot free throws. Holy shit.
Just hack him.
Yeah, so interesting game tonight. I believe there's some hatred there. San Antonio does have some injury concerns, but should be a great game. Should be a great series. We'll find out if the Knicks-Cavs are going to be a series tomorrow night. If the Knicks win that game, that series is over for all intents and purposes.
I really do. I think they sweep them.
Yeah, I mean, if the Knicks sweep them, that means they would be on an 11-game playoff winning streak, which is just insane.
Insane.
Which that number, you would have never believed the Knicks would ever do that.
Never.
Oh, man. Hey, listen, the Knicks are playing
Keep the
well
mail
right
coming,
now.
guys. Send it over.
I got my boy Nick, who's married to my cousin. Love this guy's text because we fight all the time via text in terms of I'm always, stop trusting the Knicks, bro. I'm always saying this to him, and he's texting me, you don't know what you're talking about. Look at look what's going on. So, hey, I know Nick, he's a huge Knicks fan, so he's got 2 games left here to be really, really happy. All right, on over to the NFL, who announced their Super Bowl location for 2030, which is going to be in the new Tennessee Titans Stadium over in Nashville.
Yep.
Been a lot of talk about these international games. So first off, do you like the international games?
Listen, they don't bother me.
Right.
I do kind of want to see more. I like seeing the league grow.
Okay.
Bringing Australia into it, which, I mean, listen, they got rugby there. They're big soccer fans. I don't see why they wouldn't love American football. And I know that there's already a lot of fans in Australia that love American football. So, it bothers me as far as having to watch football at 9:30 in the freaking morning.
Oh.
And it does
feel like you're from Hawaii.
Right. And it messes with, servicing clientele and all that kind of thing. So it's a monkey wrench in that way. But no, listen, I don't want teams out there, right? I don't want teams in England,
I don't think they would ever do
Ireland.
that.
Well, I think that's kind of inevitable. Ultimately what they're trying to do. Get enough fans built up where now you can have maybe a separate league, and those leagues meet for international games. And
so here's my pushback to that.
When they love an NFL Europe.
They had that already. That was what I was just getting to.
That was a while ago.
Doesn't matter. It didn't work.
It didn't work at the time.
Okay, but it didn't work.
Sometimes they're a little behind.
Oh, I get it.
With the amount of games that have been played at Wembley and everything else overseas, I think it's really I mean, look, this Australia one, they said they sold out in 30 minutes.
Yeah, listen, there's a bunch of kangaroos and snakes down there. I don't understand. Who comes up with the idea to go to Australia?
Not just snakes, bro. They
got
big
snakes
the size of houses.
These that'll swallow
you
your
ever
whole.
Look at those up in the trees and
man.
people are, there's nothing, mate. What?
Listen, I draw the line at snakes.
I hate snakes.
I draw the line at snakes. I'm not fucking with snakes.
I don't care. You can email me, all you reptilian loving motherfuckers out there. you can go ahead and say, I hate snakes.
Snakes and gators, I want no part of.
I hate snakes.
Zero part.
I could deal with gators.
Nope.
Me, snakes, spiders, out. Hate them all. They all need to die. All of them. All must die. Okay.
Yeah, snakes, man. I don't want.
When I was in Florida, I bought my first house at 22 years old, across the street from Ed Smith Stadium, where they were doing minor league baseball. And I hear a noise in the backyard, like loud. There's somebody in my backyard, right? And at the time, I had just become a gun owner. So I go out with my 45, and I'm like Sonny Crockett on Miami Vice, going out. I think there's somebody out there. Bro, there is a gigantic black snake intertwined into the fence like this. I screamed like a horror film, like a chick.
You got a gun.
Ah! I went running. My neighbor, thank God. Thank God. He was like, oh, don't worry. I got this. He grabbed the machete and chopped that thing up. I was like, oh, my God. I would never. No,
man.
No.
You know,
Big,
there's that video.
Black snakes.
I forget what golfer it was. There was an alligator on a golf course, and one guy's walking up to the gator, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he runs away from it. Another guy just casually walks up, smacks it on the tail. I'm the guy that's running the other way.
Not me. Gators, you could zigzag. They can't catch you.
I'll give Doug Pike a shout out from KBME all the way down in Houston. This guy takes me golfing. The guy's looking for alligators. I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing? Why are you looking for them for? Like, get the fuck, put me in the middle of the fairway."
Didn't you see Happy Gilmore?
And listen, yeah, right. And you know, listen, I suck at golf, so I'm generally near the water.
Sure. And
I'm like, yeah, but I'm not hitting. I'm putting that ball right in the fairway. I'm hitting the ball from there. There's no gators coming up.
I lived in Florida for 5 years. I've seen gators on the golf course.
Yeah, you got to be crazy.
I'm not going to tee off with them 5 feet from me, but you don't go running from them.
No. I want nothing to do with
I had
them.
a big monster in the pond in the lake that I lived on. That was scary because I had little kids, and I was like, it can eat my children.
Sure.
Or my dog.
No good.
Right? So we got to call somebody and have them wrangle them out of there.
Yeah, no good. But
crazy. They're not that scary. I mean, only if you get close.
Listen,
get close.
It's. I want nothing to do with them. NFL. They just announced Nashville for the Super Bowl. So the next 4 Super Bowls are SoFi. Well, it's the new stadium.
I know.
Well, Nashville's a party city. That's gonna be. That's gonna be a great Super Bowl, I think. SoFi, Atlanta, Las Vegas, which that's gonna be great.
Still, to me, that Atlanta stadium's unbelievable.
Atlanta's a beautiful stadium. So there's the next 4 Super Bowls: SoFi, Atlanta, Vegas, and Nashville. So what that does is, there's not a Super Bowl, which I know they're talking about, which I don't believe they will ever do, but that just means the next 4 Super Bowls are not in London. I don't think they can.
They better not do that.
They can't.
Oh, they
can't.
I didn't even think about that shit. You just made that spark in my mind for the first time. Oh my God.
Can't do it.
Can you imagine?
Can't do it.
Oh, that would be so wrong.
Can't do it.
I've been to multiple Super Bowls. I ain't going to London to go to a damn Super Bowl.
Well, first of all, we'd have to watch it at what time in the morning? Get the fuck out of here.
They would have to play it at 6 p.m. our time.
Well, what time would that be out in London?
Who gives a shit?
You gotta have people getting drunk at 10:30 in the morning.
The amount of eyeballs that are watching the Super Bowl at 6 p.m. on a Sunday.
Oh my God!
No, they're not changing that.
I hope not, man.
No,
I hope not. But yeah, interesting things. Next week we're gonna do something very interesting on the podcast. We're gonna do NFL throwback tournament. So a throwback jersey tournament. We got the 16 teams where they're classic throwback uniforms.
Do you get to choose from all of their?
No, we're going to do it in brackets.
One individual.
We're going to do it in brackets. It's going to be interesting. So we're going to do that in the podcast next week. Memorial Day
what
weekend.
You should do is pick each, do a tournament for its own, right? Like, let's just say Giants. You do all Giants for the last 50 years.
Could do it.
And pick their one best, the one that everyone agrees is their best against their best, right? And that would be a real.
Yeah,
otherwise, you're just picking random throwbacks.
Could do a couple different things with it.
I mean, there's some Tampa Bay Buccaneer jerseys that I would use, for toilet paper. I mean,
yeah,
some bad ones.
Well, the creamsicle one is
when they went to pewter.
It
was such a big deal. I was in Florida when they switched it over to pewter. That was unbelievable.
So keep it right here. We have Dwight Gooden coming on,
That's
MLB, New York Met legend. It's going to be a great interview. Again, that interview will be sponsored by GirlsThatGamble.Live. No free picks. I mean, you were kind of leaning towards who for tonight, but by the time they get this podcast, it'll be over. So it's not even worth doing it.
I like OKC.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
You going to give me a 1.5 with Oklahoma City?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So by the time you get this podcast, that game might have already started. I'm not doing anything for tomorrow because we got some big stuff going on for Sports Investors Daily. Want to wish everyone out there a very happy Memorial Day. Be sure to keep it right here. And for our portion of this, you can go and close it up.
You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy Memorial Day with the day off. Be safe. Have fun. And let's go out there and make some money.
All right. Be sure to keep it right here for MLB legend Dwight Gooden. All right, back here on the show, and New York Mets and MLB legend Dwight Doc Gooden joining the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast. And this interview is sponsored by GirlsThatGamble.Live. Dwight Gooden, one of the best all time to ever do it. Thank you for jumping on for a few minutes here.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to it. Let's get it.
So, listen, I'm sure you know this, okay? There's only 2 people in baseball history to have won a World Series with the Mets and won a World Series with the Yankees. So take me through, what was the crazier fan base? Was it 1986 Mets or 96 2000 Yankees? Like, what fan base was crazier?
Oh man, I tell you, 86 being my first year to experience something like that. We came so close in 1985. We won 98 games and got sent home because there was only 2 divisions at that time. So the fans was hungry because we were so close. I think man for man on that team in 85, we knew the next year, man, 86 was going to be our year. And to get to that point and to win it at home, it was wow. I would say the 86 was probably more wilder and more fun. Not taking anything from 96, because anytime you win the World Series is great. But I think the Yankees had already won so many times, and that was only the second time in Mets history. I would say 86. But Yankees, for me personally, being that was my first year with the Yankees, it was 10 years later, it was great. I had a no-hitter that year. Unfortunately, my dad passed away later that year. So that was a very emotional year for me. But they both were very special. Both fan bases are different in their own ways, but they have a lot of baseball knowledge, and the media has a lot of baseball knowledge. So it was fun. Both were very fun, but different.
So I read a story about your no-hitter. Was that the last game that your dad ever got to see you pitch?
Yes. Unfortunately, my dad had been on dialysis for 15 years, and his health was deteriorating. And the day that I pitched, I was supposed to fly home that day to be with my father because he was having open heart surgery the next day. I had my ticket to go home. But that morning I woke up, I felt like my father would probably want me to pitch. Because when I was a kid, he always talked about family comes first, your business, handle your business, take care of responsibilities. You got to do those things. So I felt like he would probably want me to pitch. Not knowing that, he was going to happen. You never know when the no-hitter is going to happen. But I called Joe Torre that day when I was coming in to pitch. He said, no, take as much time you need. Go home, be with your father. When you're ready, you come back. The next call went to my mom. She said, no, you have to be here. Your dad needs your support. Everyone's going to be here. I'm picking you up from the airport. I actually hung up on my mom because I was feeling guilty. And that's something you don't do, but I had to because the guilt. The first 3 innings of that game, I was standing in the walkway between the clubhouse and the dugout, sometimes tearing up, wondering if I made the right decision or not. Or see my dad again, or what's going, is he going to be okay? Not to the 6th inning when I realized I had a no-hitter. I was looking at the scoreboard to see what hitters were coming up, who I was going to face. And you see no runs, no hits, no errors. Your heart starts beating a little faster. The anxiety kicks in, and I was able to put my dad's situation aside, finish the game with a no-hitter, and when the team is carrying me off the field, as I'm pumping my fist, all I can think about is my dad going to be okay. The year before, I was suspended from baseball. Early that season, I was taken on the rotation, not knowing if I was going to get released or sent down. Unfortunately, David Cohn got the aneurysm. I got back in rotation. So all these different things are going through my mind. All the history at Yankee Stadium. So after that game, I got a ball from the game to give to him the next day. Obviously, I didn't sleep. I get to the hospital. He's on life support. He had the surgery. The doctor told me that he did watch the game. They found the game for him, and they watched it. So he had a tear in his eye afterwards. He never made it home, but the last game he told me pitched was a no-hitter, so I made it definitely that much special.
That's an incredible story. And it always seems like there's incredible stories with no-hitters. And, that was against Seattle, and that was a no-joke lineup. I mean, Griffey Jr., A-Rod, Edgar Martinez hitting the ball all over the field. But I remember when that last pop-out went to Jeter, Yankee Stadium, when that ball was in the air, even before, it was so loud.
Oh, man, it was loud. And I remember that. And the thing that was amazing, I could take you back, in 95, I was suspended. I was at home watching the playoffs when the Yankees were playing Seattle. And to be honest with you, I was rooting against Jack McDowell was pitching, right? And I knew the Mets wanted to cut ties, so I was rooting against him, hoping Seattle beat Jack McDowell. Not necessarily beat the Yankees, but beat Jack McDowell, and that would give me a chance. Because I wanted to stay in New York. I wanted to make it right with the fans. And now here I am. Like you said, I found myself pitching against our lineup with the guys you mentioned that they had. And I just wanted to try to go a good 5-6 innings because earlier that year I was taken out of rotation. It was only like my 4th or 5th start in the rotation. And never thought in my wildest dreams I would get to that point, especially at that time of my career. I would have thought it was going to happen. It happened in the 80s when I was with the Mets. Not that time in my career, but, I think the good Lord was involved with that, no doubt about it. And it was a good way to send my dad off.
That's an awesome story. And if you look at baseball history, man, your 1985 season, that's as good of a season from a pitcher ever. I want to give you a trivia question. I'm not sure you know this, okay?
That's right. Okay.
So we got the pitching triple crown, right? Strikeouts, wins, earned run average.
Right.
In the last 60 full baseball seasons, there are only 2 guys that would have won the Triple Crown in both the AL and the NL for that particular year. More people have done it, but if you combine the AL and the NL for the particular year, only 2 pitchers in a full season would have won that Triple Crown. You are one of them. Do you know who the other one is?
I'm gonna guess Pedro Martinez.
That's a good guess. I'll give you a hint. He didn't do it with the Mets, but at one point he pitched for the Mets.
I'm
glad you don't know the answer to this. It's
Verlander.
Johan Santana.
Oh, Johansson. Oh, wow.
Now Bieber did it. Shane Bieber did it in the COVID year.
Wow.
But and by the way, your season in 1985,
yes,
and Santana's season when he did it, and I believe in 2007, the 2 seasons aren't even close, man. Your season was insanely better. That 1985 year was a crazy year.
That was crazy. I do know somebody gave me a trivia on with the WAR, because they didn't have a WAR when I pitched, but my WAR was the highest since Babe Ruth. How about that? In 1823, I think it was, or 1923 or something like that.
I mean, your 85 season, like you just touched on a few minutes ago, like if you guys catch the Cardinals that year and you're leading that rotation in the playoffs, man, you're probably winning it that year as well.
Yeah, we could have won it. Yeah, because it's always like the hottest team, not necessarily the best team. And nothing away from Willie McGee at all. And I hate to say this because he's a good friend of mine. But in 85, I thought I should have been MVP.
Absolutely.
I finished 4th with those numbers. So the next year, Clemens won MVP. And I had a better record than him, and Don Mowley finished behind Clemens, and he had a better year than McGee in that year. So I don't get it. I don't know.
To this day, in any sport, Doc, I don't know what the MVP voters look at. I really don't. I don't know what the criteria is. I just think they just make it up as they go. Media stuff.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff. I mean, some of the media are good, but some of them have too much power, man, with the pens, especially with the Hall of Fame voting. Not saying me, but like my nephew, Gary Sheffield, should have definitely been in the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Down. I mean, come on. But the thing was, because he didn't get along with the writers and all that, it kind of goes against him. Same thing with George Steinbrenner. I think he should have been in the Hall of Fame. But, I mean, the winners all times out of any sport that he's not in. That's not right either. But some of these writers, I mean, they're good, and some of them are friends of mine, but a lot of them, at Penn, they got too much power, and they're using their personal relationships to go against these guys. That's not right.
No, and I don't know where you feel about this. My personal belief, and I never played professional baseball, but I've watched a ton of it, right? I think A-Rod, Bonds, I think all of these guys that were in the steroid era, I think they should all be in. What do you feel?
I totally agree. And I get a lot of crap from some of my former teammates for saying that. But I'm with you, because during that time, we don't know who was doing it, who wasn't. And we're sure there's some guys that are in there that 1,000% steroids. I mean, I'm not going to name guys that throw them out there. I'm sure you probably know some yourself. I've been a baseball fan, and a lot of guys, and some of these guys tested positive that are in the Hall of Fame. And they say, well, that list was supposed to get out. Like David Ortiz, who's a friend of mine. I like him a lot. And I hate to say this, but he tested positive, and they said that list wasn't supposed to be out. Well, it wasn't supposed to be out or not. He tested positive.
Right.
His first ballot. And I mean, come on. I think I'll put all these guys in, because we don't know who was doing it, who wasn't. But I'm pretty sure some of these guys who are in the Hall of Fame was doing it. We don't know. So put them all in. I mean, at that time, it wasn't illegal when they first started. And when McGuire and Sosa was on a home run chair, it brought baseball back, because after the strike, they knew what was going on, but that was to get the fans back. So, I mean, come on. It's not right.
That's the hypocrisy. Like MLB embraced that whole thing in 1998. I mean, that was on every single day, with them chasing it. So you're going to embrace it, and then you're going to use it against them in terms of Hall of Fame votes. I just never agreed with that.
I totally agree. And you want to tell me, I mean, A-Rod, in my opinion, best shortstop ever played. There's nothing against Cal Ripken or Derek Jeter. Best shortstop ever played. Barry Bonds. I mean, come on. I mean, this guy, he had 200 walks in 2000. If you don't walk 200 times, he has 100 home runs. Royals or not, you still got to hit the ball. I mean, that's still incredible. And even when he was the Pirates, he was a Hall of Famer before he even got to San Francisco. And Roger Clemens, he was a Hall of Famer with Boston. I mean, he got 7 Cy Youngs. Think about that, 7 Cy Youngs. So you got some of the top players, Pete Rose. And now you got Draft King and all this stuff in sports. Pete Rose not in. Pete Rose passed away. that's going to put him in. So now, I would say in a couple of years, he will be in. And probably somewhere down the road, they'll put these guys in after they pass away, which is not right. They should be in now and celebrate these guys now because they're the best in the game. They should be celebrated.
Man, I could not agree any more than that. I would put them all in as well. So in your day when you were pitching with the Mets, man, when you took the ball and you walked to that mound, there was an expectation that you were going to throw 7 or 8 innings. Like that was the expectation at the time. I believe in 1985, you threw like 277 innings.
Yes.
So like, does it drive you crazy right now that when these starting pitchers that are making all of this money take the mound, like the expectation is, hey, just give us 5 innings. Like, does that drive you nuts?
It do, but to be honest, like in '85, I had 16 complete games out of 35 starts. I also had 20 games combined where I went 9 innings. I had no decision. But the pitchers, like I say, make all this money. It's not right. But I don't blame the pitchers. I blame the system, the teams, because of all this analytics and these numbers they throw out there. But you got more injuries now, and these guys are throwing less. I mean, like some of these guys, they're tipping their hat, like you mentioned, after 5 innings, they tip their hat. I would be pissed if slamming my hat if they took me out to 5. So I don't get it. But through the minor leagues, these guys are taught and they're trained to go 5, 6 innings. Go as hard as you can for as long as you can. To me, that's wrong because you take like a Greg Maddux or Tom Glavine, in today's era, they probably wouldn't even be drafted because they didn't throw 95, 96. Everybody's looking at velocity and spin rate. Which I think is great, but it's overrated. I mean, if a guy can change speeds, throw strikes, mix up the pitches, read bat speed, I would take that guy over a guy that throws 100 miles per hour that has no control and no breaking ball. My nephew Gary told me once, and it makes sense. He told me he would rather face Nolan Ryan than Bob Tewksbury. You remember Bob Tewksbury?
Sure.
I said, how would you rather face Nolan Ryan than Bob Tewksbury? Because Nolan threw 100, but we knew what was coming. Tewksbury can throw any pitch at any time, whether it's a changeup, slider, curveball, whatever. He would give me more trouble than Nolan Ryan because I knew what was coming. That's the same thing I think with these guys now. They're looking at velocity, and the thing I hate too, what drives me crazy, and I don't blame them because the big thing with velocity, these young pitchers, after every pitch, they look at the scoreboard, see what the velocity was. They're more concerned with the velocity than making a pitch. So that's one of my pet peeves as well.
Yeah, so baseball made a major change this year. I personally love it. I think it's great for the game. You're a legend. You tell me. The ABS. I mean, do you personally like that, or would you have liked to have that in your era when you pitched?
No, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm real old school. I think it's great as a fan. I love it as a fan. I mean, it's great. Even the pitch clock is great. I love that. But if I was a pitcher, I like the old school way where the umpire is calling the game. You find out what his strike zone, what he's calling, and you make the adjustment to what he's calling, and then you just hope that he's going to be consistent throughout the game. I think with the box sometimes it takes away a little bit, and it's in the hitter's benefit because a lot of umpires might call that pitch down in a way it might be off the plate a little bit, but you constantly know you're going to get that pitch, and the hitters know that, so the hitters have to make an adjustment. But now there's really no adjustments to be made. Even to take it a step further, like now all these outfielders and infielders got these quarterback wristbands on to see where to play guys in positions. So they're not learning. They're not teaching them because it's telling them everything to do. But for like you mentioned, the ABA, the pitch box, I just don't like it because everything's in that box. It's like a computer game, a video game. I mean, it has to be in that box. And to me, that's the benefit of hitters. That's the way I see it. So I might be a little biased because I was a pitcher, but it's cool to have the umpires making the calls.
I love it. I don't remember what game it was. I think the Reds were involved where like an umpire got the call wrong like 5 or 6 straight times and the crowd was going crazy. And I really thought that was phenomenal. I've been a big critic of the umpires, man. I really have. And
so that's why I get it. I mean, I understand. I get it. Some umpires, I mean, for example, like this one guy, I think Bregman, I think was his name. You might saw the highlights or something. I was pitching for Cleveland in 98 or 99, and I got tossed in the first inning. That's when Mike Hargrove got tossed out to the first 2 pitches. So I didn't know until afterwards that this umpire, he likes being in controversy, right? Anytime it's controversy plays or it's a big game, he likes being in the middle of it. And that game, I threw 2 pitches to start the game right down the middle. He called both balls. Hargrove come out to the mound. And these arguing umpires get tossed after 2 pitches. I end up walking Darren Lewis. He's still second. Nomar Garcia-Parra hits a ball off the wall off me. Back it up on plate. Coach play calls me safe. Or I'm walking to the mound. I don't even look at the umpire. And he tossed me. I just said, get in the upping game. And he tossed me. I said, 2 batters in the playoff game. So with that, with umpires, you don't like. But most umpires, they're fair. Every now and then you get an umpire. Like, you remember Eric Gregg?
Yep.
I think it was 97. The Marlins are playing the Braves. And
yeah.
He's calling. Now, that's a bit much. I can get it. But for the most part, the umpires are pretty fair, I think.
All right, that's a
time that you can't talk to them, you can't question them, and all that. That's a bit much.
That's a fair answer, man. And that Cleveland game was that a playoff game?
That was a playoff game against the Red Sox. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, wow, 2 batters and he tossed me. I'm like, damn.
2 batters. You know? So now I think I know the answer to this. All right. And I will give you what I believe my answer was after I ask you, but I think I know the answer to this. Toughest batter that you ever had to face.
So I would say Barry Bonds was probably the best hitter ever faced. He was the best ever faced, but Chili Davis gave me the most trouble.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Bonds by far is the best hitter ever faced. I mean, this guy was tough. But Chili Davis gave me the most problem. I mean, right then, when he was with the Giants, I'm with the Mets, and even in my prime, I used to throw inside, knock him down, hit him sometimes. Not to hurt him, but just try to intimidate him. It didn't matter. I made a mistake, he was going to make me play. I made a tough pitch, he was going to fight it off. And then even when we went to the Yankees in 99, I was with Cleveland. Same thing, I could not get this guy out. His hitters, he just had my number. And I remember saying Chili about maybe like 6 or 7 years ago at this golf tournament in San Francisco, when I was talking to him, I said, Chili, let me ask you something. What was it that you saw of me that I couldn't get you out? But then if we call a guy from AAA, this guy gets you out like nothing. He said, I just saw the ball so well coming out of your hand. He said, I knew what you was going to throw it up your hand, and I could see where you had your ball. I said, well, how could you see that and nobody else can see it? He said, I can't speak to nobody else. I just saw the ball so well coming out of your hand. But it made sense, and that's it.
Wow. I would have guessed Barry Bonds, but I would guess if I asked that question to any pitcher, they would say Barry Bonds. I think that's
you say Bonds. That's like even like say like a Tony Gwynn or Wade Boggs. You would think those guys, been contact hitters, great hitters, would give him a lot of trouble. But I saw a stat the other day where Gwynn only hit like 220 or something like that off me, which I was surprised. But you couldn't really strike this guy out. But it's just certain guys, they just have your number. Certain teams have your number. You just can't figure it out.
That's amazing. Now, bench clearing brawls were far more prevalent in your day than they are today. Yes. I mean, it was like you guys in 1986, you seem to be in one every couple weeks.
Oh, man, yes.
Like, you got to go into a bench clearing brawl with that Mets team. Like, who you want behind you? What are the 2 or 3 guys you want behind you?
Oh, that's easy. Kevin Mitchell, Ray Knight, and Darryl Strawberry.
I love it, man.
And the thing was, as a pitcher on that team, you knew you got these guys behind you. So if you had to come in on a guy or hit a guy because he hit your guy, you're not worried about it because these guys are ready at any time. We had a close team, and not all of us got along all the time, but we kept it in the house. But when we took the field, it was just one team for one beat. I mean, we was all together. And it was fun. And some of these guys, true story, they'll say, Doc, hit somebody today, let's fight. They'll tell me that. And I'm like, at least let me get 5 minutes so I can get the win, and then take somebody out. And then I have another story for you. So it's been an unwritten rule, right? If a guy hits, say, Strawberry or Carter or Keith, I'm going to hit your best guy, or I might hit 2 of your guys, or I might hit the pitcher. Or sometimes you might ask Yarrow or whoever, who do you want me to get for you? You get this guy or that guy, right? So we played the Astros one game, and Nolan Ryan was my idol. Him and Pete Rose, right? And Nolan didn't like guys bunting on him. So Wally Bateman bunted on Nolan the first inning, hits on first, still second, still third. Next time Wally came up, Nolan hit him right in the ribs. So after the inning, Wally comes in, I go, Doc, you want to get him from me, right? So I say, get who? He said, Nolan. I said, no, you got to pick somebody else. I got to hit you. Back then wasn't no DH. And so, I'm not hitting Nolan because I got a patch also. So me and Wally had a couple of words. He didn't like that too well, but,
listen, to me, that's a hard ask. Like, you got 9 guys in the lineup and you choose him?
You're going to pick Nolan out of all these guys. That's what I thought. I got a patch too, so I know, whether he got to be that game or the next game, it was going to happen. I'll say, you got to pick somebody else. I'm sorry.
So in the AL always had the DH, the NL just went through it a few years ago. Is it just a different mentality for pitches now because you don't have to take the bat, right? You can go out and hit anyone, and your teammate basically has to pay for it.
That's right. It's totally different now. And only thing to that question, guys don't pitch inside enough. I think not to hurt anybody, but you have to, especially now. Everybody's got the elbow pads and they're bigger and stronger. you have to, like the number 3, 4 hitters, you got to pitch inside. Aaron Judge, who's a good friend of mine, I've never seen him get knocked down. Otani, I've never seen him get knocked down. Even in 24, when the Mets was playing the Dodgers in the playoffs, I mentioned to him, got pitch inside hard. But what if we hit him? So what if you hit him? Help him. I mean, you hit him.
Right.
You have to inside, you're not doing it. These guys are diving on the plate. They got the big elbow pad on, and they're very comfortable. Guys are not doing it. But as you mentioned, now it's the DH, so there's no, but these guys still want to pitch inside. But if you do, you got no consequences. They're not going to come at you. I wish baseball was like hockey, where if a guy hits you and you can't, let them fight for like 3 minutes. Let them just go at it for 3 minutes and then break it off. That's what I would do.
I always thought it was great when at things like that, just police yourselves. Just police,
Exactly.
right? Just police yourselves, and that'll take care of that.
I agree. That's the way it was in the 80s.
Yeah.
One of our guys got hit. You hit a guy. Okay, now it's fine. Okay, now it's over with. Let's get back to playing baseball. And the guy is like, I've seen Barry Bonds on a lot of his interviews talk about that. And, he say, if I hit a home run off somebody, I'm probably going to get hit or somebody's going to get hit. And that's just part of the game. And they accept it. They understand it. Now, guys, they don't do it. And I don't know if it's because of the money they're making or the coaches never played. Like a lot of these coaches, they get now out of college, they're for analytics. They never played professional baseball, so they don't understand the mentality. They can teach you about how to throw balls and strikes and spin rate and velocity, but they can't teach you when you're in the foxhole what it takes to get out. When you're struggling, how to get out of it. Something's going on at home, how they going to talk to you? Or curveball's not working. They never experienced it, so how they going to tell you about it?
Yeah, that's a great point. And just some stuff currently, obviously, about the New York Mets, right? Yep. So obviously they're through the first 50 games of the season, very disappointing, right? For what they've spent, the fans, expected much more. And I'm really not. I feel like if someone gave me $380 million to spend, the expectations got to be so high. And I never try to throw any person in any walk of life. I don't want to ever call for anyone's job. I would never do that. The guy Stearns, I personally think that he is the bigger problem other than Mendoza, all the players. I think Stearns put together a very poor roster, especially for $380 million. Do you feel the same way?
Oh, man. So I met Stearns a couple of times. Very intelligent guy. I understand that. I like him. And I'm like you. I never want to see anybody lose their job or, go against them. And I'm a big Mets fan, obviously. I'm a Met alumni. I love the Mets and Yankees, but I'm a Met at heart. I'm always going to be a Met. So I'm looking at it, and the thing I don't understand, and it's just me. I don't know what happened behind closed doors or anything like that. But from a fan looking in, okay, Alonso, you let Alonso go. Homegrown guy, proven guy. Really, your only true power guy you have on the roster. Plays every day. He might not be the best defensive player, but he's not a liability. So you let him walk. You bring in Polanco, who's a second baseman, but you put him at first. He never played first. You're trying to build the defense. I don't understand. But Shed, who's a great player, you bring him in, but you put him at third base. He's a shortstop or second baseman. I think he plays. So he never played third before. So you bring these guys in, great ball players, don't get me wrong, but you got to play on position, but you're trying to make the defense better. Okay? None of it's working. So it's easy to look at the roster now and say, I would have kept Pete, I would have did this, I would have did that. But I think it's just my opinion. I have no proof of anything. But Stearns coming from Milwaukee, he's probably accustomed to using, dealing with a mid-market team. And then you come to New York, you can't rebuild, you can't depend on your farm system. Like with what's the guy? Carson Benz and it was AJ Ewing?
Yep.
I'm saying that right?
Yeah,
that's a lot of pressure on these guys. But because of what they have, it fits. If they went any other organization, these guys wouldn't be ready. I don't think they're ready. Me personally, even though Benz is doing okay, but I don't think these guys are really ready. But you have to go with them because it's the best you have right now. They bring excitement to the team. But I think he's used to dealing with like a Midwest team, Milwaukee. No expectations. He built a farm system. You have time to do that. But in New York, you're expected to win right now. You have an owner that has the pockets. He has the money, which is fine. But if you're not spending in the right places, it doesn't matter how much you have. It got to be like, look at Tampa. Tampa, they don't have money, but they're on the top of the AL East.
Right.
Farm system, they bring the right guys in. You got to spend the money on the right players, the right system. So something has to be done. Going to the ballpark, I love going to the ballpark. I like the players. I love Mendoza. I love the manager. But it's no fun, to be honest with you. It's not fair to the fans as well, because the prices season ticket prices keep going up. But like last year, you didn't make the playoffs, so you got to address that thing. And I'm sure I'll probably get a lot of heat for saying what I'm saying. I'm just voicing my opinion because I care. I want to see the Mets do well. But they got to make some changes, man. And even the pitching staff, you got 2 or 3 guys that are there, but the rest of you guys, you got to do something. I'm sorry. Something's got to be done. Next year, I don't know what free agents are coming out, but I want to see them put a team out there that's been proven and that fits. I mean, it seems like I'm knocking the team. I guess I am, but I'm not doing it intentionally. I'm looking at it as a fan. Even with Nemo and Simmons, that deal, you could have put Polanco at second, kept Pete at first, and kept Nemo in that field. He's a proven hitter. That's what I would have done, a person, because these guys are proven they can play in New York. Everybody can't play in New York. I've witnessed that. I played with guys that didn't fit in New York. It just didn't fit. You got to make sure the mentality is right. It goes further than just looking on the back of a baseball card when you're dealing with players coming to New York. It's not Pittsburgh. It's not Minnesota. Sorry.
No, and listen, and I might take a lot of heat for this, and this is nothing against Pittsburgh. This is nothing against Milwaukee or any cities like that, right? But, like, man, if you lose game 56 in Milwaukee, no one cares, right? Every single game in New York for the New York Mets and the New York Yankees, there's stories written about it. Through 162. And to your point, a lot of people can't handle that. So when you got a guy that you know can handle that, why the hell do you let him go?
Exactly. I agree with you 1,000%. 1,000%. That's the guy you got to keep. And if there's personal feelings with those guys, you got to put that aside. I think the true management, the true managers, coaches, whatever, you got to put that aside. The best thing last year with that was Joe Torre. We had Alex Rodriguez batting 8th. That's a manager I have respect for because A-Rod, he's a Hall of Fame player before the steroids stuff came out, but he was struggling, so he put him 8th. Those are things you have to do. It's about winning. You got to forget about pride and hurting the guy's feelings. You got to do what's right for the organization to win.
Absolutely. And I think the Mets screwed up last week or maybe a few days ago. I don't know how you feel about this. From the 1986 team, your jersey's retired. Strawberry and Hernandez's jersey's retired. Gary Carter's jersey is not retired for the Mets. And then they give it to Nick Morabito, I believe it was, for one game. I mean, I personally think Gary Carter's number should be retired. I know he's deceased, but I think that would be phenomenal for his family. I'm sure you feel the same way in regards to that.
1,000%. So, again, I'm just voicing my opinion. You ask for my opinion, I'm going to give it to you, right? So, I feel, my personal feeling, Carter's number should be retired. Okay? Hall of Fame player. No, he didn't go in the Hall of Fame as a Met. Hall of Fame player. We do not win the World Series in 86 without Gary Carter. Clutch catcher, veteran catcher. We had a young staff, myself, Sid Fernandez, Ron Darling, Rick Aguilera. With the exception of Bob Ojeda, we had a young staff. And Gary was a clutch hitter. He was a co-captain on the team, a leader on the field, leader off the field. We don't win without him. So, and again, this is just me. And it might offend some people.
No,
So, like, with my number being retired, you might say, "Oh, you can't say your number retired." Yeah, it is. But again, I'm about the organization first, the fans. I care about that. I'm a fan. So, and there's nothing against Carlos Beltran. But, okay, I don't look at him as a Met Hall of Fame. But his number get retired. He's going in as a Met Hall of Famer. I get that. He had a great career. He should be in the Hall of Fame. But I feel like if you're going to retire his number, Carter's number should be retired. It's just me. Even I would go as far as Mike Piazza. I look at Piazza as a Dodger. Sorry, that's just my opinion as a Dodger. But his number's retired. He should be in the Hall of Fame. His number be retired as a Met. I mean, you can argue that. But if his number can be retired, Carter number should be. Piazza never won in New York. Carter did. That's what it's all about, winning, right?
Sure.
So Carter number should be up there. And then they gave Carter number out. That wasn't right. I was a slap in the face. I'm sorry. I wasn't right. I mean, I know they're changing it now, but the damage is done.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, is there no one in the organization that when they're making this jersey up for this kid and they're like, we might not want to do this. Let's give him a different number. Like, how do you screw that up? That's just me as looking in, like, to a great Met player. Like, to me, like you said, it was disrespectful.
Totally disrespectful. I don't get it. And the thing is, now that kid got to wear that number, he's going to catch a lot of heat also, and it probably wasn't even his fault. I'm sure he didn't ask for that number. I mean, maybe just give it to him. Maybe it was a mistake. No, not take that back. It couldn't have not have been a mistake. I'm sorry. Everybody, even guys born in the 2000, they know Gary Carter with that number. Anybody affiliated with the Mets or the fan of the Mets, they knew who was number 8. And there's no way that number should be handed out. Even if you don't retire, you can't hand it out. tell you a quick story. Like nothing to me. So I made the team like a spring training in '84. I was number 64, right? When I made the team, when we go to the ballpark to work out in New York, they got a jersey hanging up with number 35 on it. So Charlie Samuels, the equipment manager, I said, Charlie, can I have number 16? He said, no, kid, just be happy on the team and get back out there. So Frank Caston, who was the general manager, he had told me if I have any problems with anybody or anybody no hard time, come to him. So me, like a little kid, I ran up to Frank's office. I said, Frank, I want number 16. Nobody has 16, but Charlie said I can't have it. Came down, he said, Charlie, give Doc 16. So he gave me 16, but he wouldn't do my laundry for like 3 weeks. Right? I saw a picture of him. But the reason he didn't want to give me 16 was because he was good friends with Lee Mazzilli. Lee Mazzilli was the last guy to wear 16. But it wasn't retired, and Lee Mazzilli definitely wasn't the caliber player of Barry Carter. But I had to fight to get that number. That's how I ended up with 16 because of Frank Cash and made Charlie give it to me. But then this kid get called up, and they just handed number 8.
That's and so many you are just on this 25-30-minute podcast, man. You've told stories that are great, and I think it'll resonate with a lot of people. I want to ask you one more thing because
No
you've dealt with a lot in your life, man. You came up, you grew up in Tampa Bay, right?
Yes.
And nothing against Tampa Bay, but the Tampa Bay life versus the New York City life completely different. Completely different.
Oh, it's totally different. Totally different.
So you come up, you make your first start for the Mets as a 19-year-old teenager. You're in the biggest city in the world, and you come up a superstar. Did anyone in your life prepare you, like, for what the difference is going to be like from dealing with in Tampa Bay to being a star in New York City? Were you prepared for that at all?
Not at all. I was a year and a half out of high school. I pitched, I think, 9 games in Kingsport, Tennessee, and rookie ball. I went to Lynchburg, Virginia, which is no comparison to New York, as you mentioned. From there, I went to AAA for 2 weeks, spring training, and I made the team. And see, now, and I'm not justifying anything, any problems, anything I had, I wear that. So when I get to New York, I make the team, and when you get there, they say, okay, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Luckily, Ed Lynch was a pitcher on the team. He took me with him to never find a place and got me situated. Other than that, I wouldn't know where to go. Where at today's age, you make the team, they give you 3 days at the hotel, and then they have relatives, they help find your place. They have a place already in place for you to go to. You learn things, and then now, especially after I made the All-Star team my rookie year, I mean, I had a 1-bedroom apartment in Port Washington, and Strawberry can verify this. There used to be media trucks outside my house, fans parked outside my house, fans outside waiting for me to come outside to get autographs. You can't go to the mall. The things a teenager that did, 19 years old, you can't do. You can't go to a mall, you can't go to movies, you go to a restaurant. So you're just in your house, and the only fun I was having was on the road. And so you had to learn things on your own, and then you go to the city for the first time, you get caught in the limelight.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, it's fun, but at the same time, I got caught on, I got turned on to drugs, alcohol, women, all this stuff thrown at you. Like you mentioned, coming from Tampa, shy guy, quiet, now you're turning on to all this, and everybody's pulling at you, everybody wants you. You don't know who's really on your side or who just wants something for you. So you're going out there, and then fast forward to 85, that was just ridiculous. I mean, once the year I had and everything was going on, at the ballpark was fun, but at home, to be honest with you, the only fun I had was on the road because of everything else. And when I told my family and my kids and friends, that's the 1 year, they look at me and laugh, but that's the 1 year I can imagine what Michael Jackson went through his whole life. Or is the attention and everything else, because it was just like that. It couldn't have been any worse. I mean, you couldn't go anywhere. If I'm going shopping, they had to shut down the store. If I want to go to the restaurant, they had to bring me through the back door and put this tables up. For that the year 85, that's what it was. It couldn't go anywhere. And that year, to tell you how it was, and it seems weird that I'm talking about myself and the excitement and everything that I had and the popularity that I had, but it's true. Where Michael Jordan, the Chicago Bulls, was going to do a commercial together in 85. Nike wanted to fly him to New York to see me, but he broke his leg, so they didn't want him to fly. And then the Mets didn't want me flying, they go to Chicago, so we never got to do that commercial. But you imagine Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, the biggest name in sports, but the Nike wanted him to come to me instead of me going to him.
That's amazing.
That's how big it was.
And so you at the same area when you guys win your championship, the Giants win their championship in the NFL, and you're the toast of the Mets and the city, and Lawrence Taylor is
right.
And Lawrence Taylor tells a story like he played at North Carolina. Like he comes up to New York and he's like, what on earth? And he's a superstar. And he said, man, they prepared me how to rush a passer. They prepared me how to do all this stuff. They did not prepare me how to deal with New York City.
No, you can't. And just think, he's just coming out of college, almost coming out of high school. Yeah, I don't know if you remember the China Club in the city. I remember that one time, one of the players on the team, I'm not going to say his name, but he said, "You win tonight, I'm going to take you to the city." I was 20 years old then, that's 85. He take me to the city, and I mean, you're talking about bottles, actresses, singers, everybody's there, and everybody know who I am. I don't know who these people are. A lot of them, there was no cell phones, no social media. It was just free for all. And when I say that, it was just everything goes, and it was okay. And I got caught up. I'm and they told me they should joke around. Don't eat the apple, just get a slice of the apple or get a bite of the apple. But me, I'm trying to eat the whole apple.
Right.
I got caught up. In it, and that's what all the problems started happening. It just escalated, higher and higher each year.
Yeah, man. Well, Dwight Gooden, thank you so much for joining some time here on the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast. This was one of the best interviews we've done. We've had Marshall Faulk on. We have had some big names, but this is one of the most fun interviews that I've had. I thank you so much for spending some time with us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Anytime you want me, I'm here, brother. And keep doing a good job. I appreciate you.
All right, Dwight. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, that's going to wrap up this edition of the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast for Friday, May 22nd. We sure hope you enjoyed that interview with MLB legend Dwight Gooden. I thought that was really informative and fun, and he told some great stories. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Everyone out there, enjoy Memorial Day weekend. Hope you guys stay safe, have some fun, and we'll catch you back next week on the Bet Big Talk Loud podcast.